we up. From the month that 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 we up.
YouTube, what's good? What it do? It's your boy Mace Machiavelli. I'm back with another video. It's not the podcast right here. This is the podcast background, actually. But this is a video, you know, with a story about my life. I only got motivated to tell this video. I was on TikTok live, and this girl got in my live, and she you know, she was like crying, like she ended my live crying, and I was like, yo, why you crying? And she was like, you know, her family, you know, treated her like, you know what, and they said she wouldn't amount to anything and stuff like that. So I asked her how old she was. She was 25, and you know, she was going through some things, you know what I'm saying? So I told her this story that I'm about to tell y'all. You know, and this story might hurt some feelings, but it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? It's really it's my life, you know what I mean? It's what happened. People who know me, like my close friends, my close homeboys, my mom, my family, like they know about this story. So I'm gonna get straight to it. So I lived in Atlanta. Like from 2017 to 2018. Then I was there 2018. And I was in a slump, you know what I'm saying? Like in 2017, I had gotten a wreck, almost lost my life and stuff like that, you know what I mean? 2018, you know, I moved to Atlanta, man. I moved back to Atlanta in 2018 due to my people was getting evicted, you know what I'm saying? And like at the time, I ain't had no job. I was making good money though, you know what I'm saying? Doing what I was doing. And man, when I was making the good money, it just seemed like I was on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? Like I was doing music still. I was getting good money. You know, I was giving people money anytime they asked. I was the anchor, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, when I moved back to Atlanta, I stayed with this woman that I originally stayed in Atlanta with in 2017. And so I stayed there. You know, she told me I could stay in her basement for it was $600 a month to stay in her basement. Okay, I agreed on that. So get to Atlanta. She actually stayed in Marietta, which is like 20-30 minutes from Atlanta, but it's still Atlanta to me. Yeah, so get there. You know, my mom gets kicked, my people get kicked out, and I moved straight there, you know what I'm saying? Like, the next day, you know what I mean? So, get there. You know, like I said, I was balling, you know what I mean? Like, before I left North Carolina, I was balling, but my car broke down right before I moved. My car broke down, like, literally a week right before I moved. I had a Buick LaCrosse. That shit broke down on me, like, right before I moved back to Atlanta. So, didn't have no car. Get there. Didn't have, like, no job in line. I didn't have no time to prepare myself because you know, who expects to get evicted, you know what I'm saying? So, get there, and, you know, I was working at Bojangles. There was a Bojangles down the street. I walked to the Bojangles. It really wasn't even down the street, to be honest. The Bojangles was like a mile and a half away from where I live. So, yeah, I walked a mile and a half every single day to go to work at Bojangles. When I told the guy straight up, you know, like, yo, I'm in a situation. I just moved here. I ain't got no car. I just need a job. He gave me a job. But, boom. Man, what happened after that was crazy. Like, the woman I was staying with, you know, she just called me one day and she was like, yo, me and the girls are moving and you can't move with us. I'm like, wow, really? I just gave her, well, what I think I did something smart. I can't remember if it really happened. Like, I know, I did something smart, okay? So originally, you remember me telling y'all she wanted $600. I gave her half. I told her I was gonna give you. I told her I'm gonna give you half now and half at the end of the month since I just got here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I gave her $300 when I got there, and I kept the other $300. I had the money, you know what I'm saying, but I was having to use the money to catch. Like, it was no Uber where I had stayed at. I had to catch taxis. You know what I'm saying? And taxis is way higher than Ubers. A cab was like $7, $8 to get to work and back from work. But some days I didn't feel like paying for the taxi, so them be the days that I walk to work. So you know, she called and told me like, yeah, you can't move with us. We're moving and stuff like that. Now this is within 2 weeks of staying there. Well, this is like a week after. No, this is like a week after I come back. I gave her the $300, and then she tell me that like a week, and then she like, yo, you got a week to move. Like, we're moving. I'm like, and I can't move with y'all. So, you know, that was kind of messed up. You know what I mean? But, you know, I had to find my next move. I couldn't move back home. My mom didn't have no place to stay back home, so I had to do what I had to do. I called one of my homeboys. I know he used to stay in Atlanta. I ain't even call him my homeboy. He like my brother. But I called my homeboy, and yeah, he knew one of his old coworkers, or somebody that he used to stay in Atlanta with, was still there. So call him. They get me. They connect me. You know what I mean? And I find a place to stay. Like, man, literally a day before this woman moves, this woman and her kids move. You know what I'm saying? It won't nothing but God. I'm trying not to tear up right now, just telling that story, but the story gets deeper. So, yeah, the guy calls me the next day, because at the time, he didn't need a roommate. You know, he already had a roommate. But the day before the woman called me, I mean, the day before the woman moved, he called, like, it's serious. Like, they taking this stuff out the house and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that day before, this guy calls me and he's like, yo, did you still need that place? Because one of my roommates just moved out. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I need it, bro. Like, whatever I got to pay, bro, I'll pay it. Like I said, I was running dry because I was having to spend money catching cabs and stuff, like making sure I ate and stuff like that. This with all in a matter of 2 weeks. So the guy, they were like, yeah, just $500, you know what I'm saying, for a room, $500. So, man, luckily my check from Bojangles was $500 for those 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? My check from Bojangles was $500 for those 2 weeks, and that was me. That was my room. That was my move-in money. I moved in with the guy. It was for real, like, because I had all my clothes. I was still at Bojangles. That last day at Bojangles, I had all my clothes there. Like, the taxi cab dropped me off to Bojangles with my clothes, like all my clothes. You feel me? And I'm breaking down crying because I'm like, for one, in my head, I'm thinking like, dang, like, why this woman do me like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, she knew she was moving ahead of time. Why she used me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, why she used my money to help her move? You know what I mean? Like, you I'm in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a whole nother state by myself. You know what I mean? Like, just threw to the wolves like that. Like, if you knew you was gonna move, I feel like you should have just told me you was gonna move before, you know what I'm saying, I even came up there. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have moved to a whole nother state knowing you about to move in 2 weeks and I get kicked out within 2 weeks after I done paid you. You know what I'm saying? Half of the money. And I'm, you know what I mean? Luckily, I, you know, kept my other half because a little portion of that was used, like, after I paid the $500 to the guy to stay, I had like $100 left over from what I had before to even make sure I ate and stuff like that. So, you know, move over there. So now we're going to jump ahead because, I mean, I lived there for a good amount of time. You know, things was going good. Eventually, at the end, me and my roommate, we started having, we had got into it about something, you know what I'm saying? Still, it's all love, you know what I mean? We still talk to each other to this day. But we had got into something, and, like, at the time, I was mad, I was pissed. But not even just that. In my head, I just realized, like, yo, like, just go home, bro. Just go home so you can get on your stuff and grind, you know what I mean? Because I'm not used, at the time, I'm like, yo, I'm not used to living like this. I'm like living like, you know, just to get by. I was working at Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I moved to the roommate house, I was working at Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? Because it was walking distance, flipping burgers, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I called my aunt. Come up. Like I said, at the time, my mom still didn't have no place to stay. You know what I'm saying? So I called my aunt. I used to live with her in Raleigh beforehand. So I called my aunt and I asked her, like, yo, you know, can I come back? I'm trying to get on my feet, yada, yada, yada. And she says, yeah. You know what I mean? I let her know, like, I'm coming back real soon. So I keep you in touch when I am coming back. And, like, a week later, I called her, like, yo, auntie, I just want to come back home. And she like, yeah, okay, you can do it. So I come back home. Man, so I come back home. I'm trying not to get emotional, but okay. So I come back home, and when I come back home, I'm staying with my aunt. I get a job within like 2-3 days of staying. I get a job within like a day or two of staying there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I'm home, I can get a job, a great job, no matter what circumstances. I can get a job. You know what I'm saying? So I got a job within like a day of staying there. Got a job, and man, basically, long story short, like I said, this video might hurt some feelings, but it's my truth. It's the truth, you know what I'm saying? So basically, long story short, I got kicked out of my aunt's house within like a week of staying there. You know, like when I was staying there, my mom, like I said, my mom didn't have no place to stay, but she was still working in Raleigh, you know what I'm saying? And she was coming to visit me. Because we hadn't seen each other in like a year. You know what I mean? Like, we hadn't seen each other like a year, maybe 2, staying in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm like, you know, my mom coming to visit me at my aunt's house, you know, maybe staying the night sometime. Because some nights she come home from work and didn't feel like driving back home, driving back to where she was staying at, which was 45 to an hour away. So, you know, some nights she'd stay at my aunt's house. And, man, like, it was like cruel things being said to me. Like, my aunt was like, you know, well, my husband don't feel like this is a hotel. Or, you know, your mama come here and yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, I didn't know where all this was coming from. Basically, it was like my uncle didn't want me there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like and my aunt had said, like, you know, since my uncle felt like since their son wasn't there, that we shouldn't be taking care of somebody else's son. You know, and that was very hurtful. I mean, it still kind of hurt to this day. But yeah, so get kicked out of my aunt's house in the middle of the day. And so I had to call this girl that, like, I was talking to. I'm like, yo, like, my homeboy seeing this. Like, I was still smoking at the time. I'm smoking with my homeboy. We in the car smoking. My aunt comes outside and like, yo, you need to go. Like, I don't want you and your uncle fighting and stuff like that. I'm like, fighting? Like, what we gonna be fighting for? Like, it's not that serious and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all didn't even give me time to pay or nothing. Like, I got a job, you know what I mean? So, but I'm like, okay, it is what it is. I called the girl. This girl comes pick me up. This girl comes to pick me up. I stayed with her for like a day or two. And, I mean, the plan was, I thought I was going to stay over there. But then, like, she woke me up. And she was like, she woke me up like a day or two after staying there. She woke me up that morning like, yo, if you ain't my baby daddy, you can't stay here. Like, her baby daddy was coming to stay with her or something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. So now at this point, I really don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So I called my mom, because at that point I'm like, yo, like, my mom was staying at my aunt, my other aunt, which is her aunt, my great aunt. My mom was staying at my great aunt's in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I called my mom, and my mom was like, at the time, it was like, oh, he can go to the such and such. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to go live back in the hood. Like, I'm not doing that. I come with y'all. I come with you, you know what I mean, and help us get out this situation. So I went to my great aunt's where my mom was, and I get over there, and I stay like 3-4 days. My great aunt was on the same thing, like, oh, this ain't no hotel. Like, your mom here, you here, my husband here, one of y'all gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, okay, I see what's going on. I go, you know what I mean? So I went to stay in Clinton, North Carolina, which is like the hood, you know what I'm saying? So I went to go stay in the hood for like, I stayed in the hood like a month, probably. Stayed there like a month. Probably not even a full month, though. I stayed with my uncle, but every day I had to hear, like, yo, like, get a job, yada, 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 and stuff like that. And I was trying, but I really didn't even want to be there, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, I had my little my dad's son, my little brother. You know, I had him around. He was in the streets. Well, he's still in the streets. But me being that I used to be in the streets, I was trying to get him away from that crowd, right? So I'm going to go into that story. My little brother was coming over every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. My little brother, my own little brother, he was coming every single day, waking us up to smoke and stuff like that. And one day we was about to go to the club, and you know, I got gold fronts, gold grills, and stuff like that. Even when I was broke, I still had gold grills. You know what I'm saying? But I had my gold grills, and that was like my first day pulling my gold grills out around my little brother. So I put my grills on. I take a whole Snapchat video with the grills in my mouth, and I sit them down right beside me, right? And now we about to go to the club. I think it was New Year. It was New Year's 20, I don't know if it was 2019 or it was 2019. New Year's 2019. So we about to go to the club, but I'm looking, I'm like, yo, where's my grills? So everybody in the house trying to help me find my grills except my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, we looking for like hour, like an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even go to the club because I'm like, yo, like, I can't find my grills. Like, and I know they was just sitting right beside me. I just did a Snapchat video with my grills on. And my little brother didn't help me look. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, like, where's my, like, no, I didn't ask him where my grills. I asked him when I realized he didn't help me look. Everybody else did. I'm like, yo, where, like, why didn't you help me look? This dude said, yo, I'm not going to help you. Why help you look for something that I see you can't find? So I try to, like, just, like, don't, you feel me? Like, don't do nothing to him, you know what I'm saying, at the time. So the next day he calls back, like, he don't come over. This the first, not even that. I'm jumping too far. So that night, he usually asks my cousin to give him a ride home. That night, he asked he got a ride home. It was like 2 in the morning. He found a ride home. The next day, he didn't come over for the first time ever. He did not come over. He calls my phone. He like, yo, you find your grills? I'm like, bro, you know you got my grills, bro. When you see me, just put your guards up, bro. So he hangs up. And after he hangs up, he gets on Facebook. He talks about my dead grandma. He talks about how I lived in Atlanta, was struggling, working in Wendy's. He said he put ruthless on me and stuff like that. Like, this is my own little brother saying this stuff about me. And I'm only telling this story, to show you all I went through, like, just coming back to North Carolina, coming back home, thinking I was just going to get on my feet. So, trying to beat that obstacle, my aunt kicks me out, my great aunt kicks me out, the girl kicks me out, so my great aunt kicks me out. I'm at my uncle's house in Clinton. That happens. So I want to get away from there. And I knew this girl that was staying. She lived in Clinton, but she was moving to Fayetteville where my mom was staying at. So, I stayed. I'm gonna jump kind of far, but I stayed there for like 3 months, and like, I worked at Wendy's. I didn't have no car. I didn't have no nothing. No, you know what I mean? I slept on the floor. I really couldn't pay her like that because I worked at Wendy's. Like, the little money I could pay her, I paid it when I could. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it seemed like she understood, but, like, it came at the end, like, well, like, she got meaner and meaner. Like, I couldn't eat her food. I couldn't, she wouldn't give me no ride to work. I mean, which I wasn't expecting none of that. I caught the bus to work, I walked to work, you know what I'm saying? I caught my own rides to work. And I didn't even know nobody here. Me and my mom wasn't talking at the time because we was both just so frustrated about the things that we was going through and how people was treating us. And man, I was getting like $100 a week working at Wendy's. Some days I was on the schedule like 2 days to work, and man, like, I'm about to cry eating down. I'm trying my best not to, like, hold back tears, man. But I'm working at Wendy's, making $100 a week, and it just clicked to me, like, bro. At the time, I ain't gonna lie, I had thoughts of suicide, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this ain't it. Like just 2 years ago, I had a feature with Asian Doll. Now she signed, at the time, she was signed to Gucci Mane. I got a whole feature in a video with Asian Doll when I was doing my music. When I was doing my music, I getting thousands of views feel like I'm on top of the city, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how did I get to this in this like little bit of time? And man, I was working at Wendy's and it didn't click to me. Like, what clicked to me was when I was thinking about doing this stuff to myself, I just, I was talking to God, and it was like God told me, like, you gotta meet me halfway. You know what I'm saying? I was mad at God. I was mad at other people. It feel like I was mad at the world, but God like told me you gotta meet me halfway. So what I did was I realized Wendy's ain't enough. I got a job at Carly C's overnight. I got tired of being treated how I was treated, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was sleeping on the floor, just going through hell every day. And so I got a job at Carly C's that was also down the street. I got a job there, matched both checks together. Now, me and my father, we never like had the best relationship in the world, but his talk kind of helped me. You know what I'm saying? We had a talk because he was hearing about, you know, I was staying place to place to place to place like this. You know what I'm saying? And he called me and he was like, yo, what do I need to do and stuff like that? I'm like, yo, I don't need nothing. You know what I mean? But his best advice that he told me was, you know, you need a car. You know what I'm saying? You need a car. And that was the best advice. So hold on, before I go into that, I didn't even tell y'all, all right, I got kicked out of my aunt's house and then went to the girl, then went to my great aunt's. Okay, when I was at my great aunt's, now I'm at my great aunt's a week after I get kicked out of my aunt's house. My aunt and my sister calls and they like, my cousin that robbed a bank, my aunt's son that they kicked me out like, you know, our son ain't here, why should you be here, and stuff like that. He robs a bank. You know what I mean? Free my cousin Jamari. This is true facts. You can look it up. My cousin robs a bank. He gets caught. He flips the car over. You know what I'm saying? And, man, my aunt and my sister called like, yo, when the last time you talked to Jamari? I'm like, I haven't talked to him. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't talked to him, you know what I mean, a long time. So my sister was like, yo, well, why am I hearing your name? I'm like, why are you hearing my name? I'm like, what? So what are you really insinuating? Like, are you insinuating I told my cousin to rob a bank? Because I ain't out here robbing no bank. I'm out here working 9 to 5, I'm flipping burgers. You feel me? And at the time, I wasn't even flipping burgers, but I definitely, if I would have robbed, I definitely wouldn't rob no bank. I haven't robbed a bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why would you insinuate that on me? Like, are you feeling bad that, you know, how y'all treated me and stuff like that? Now this has happened. I just brought that story in because I did forget to mention it, but yeah, that the whole timing was crazy. But free my cousin. I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. But where was I? I was at, yeah, my dad told me to get a car. And so when I got the Carly C's, I added the Carly C's bread with the Wendy's check, and boom, looked on Facebook Market. And this guy had a Buick LeSabre, a 98 Buick LeSabre. And I bought the Buick LeSabre for like, he wanted $800, but I talked him down. I was like, bro, all I got is $500, bro. And I talked him down. He was like, okay, meet me at the DMV. And I gave him the $500. Boom, I had a Buick LeSabre. You know what I'm saying? That was the first step. And it was like after that, like, you know, the place I was at, where, like I said, I was sleeping on the floor and stuff like that. Like, it was like the door would be locked on me. Because when I worked at Carly C's, I was working overnight. So when I get home, the door would be locked. So I had to, like, leave my window cracked just to jump through the window. Because I'm like, yo, y'all locking the door on me and stuff like that. And the girl that told my mom, like, yo, he can sleep in his car now. He got a car and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, wow, that's real. This is okay. So when I heard that, that's what made me like, yo, I got to get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I did what I had to do. I got out of there. You know what I mean? When I got that car, I got a better job, you know what I mean? I was working at this temp agency, you know what I mean? Went from working at Wendy's making $8 an hour to working, at the time I was getting like 11 something, you know what I mean? Not too much better, but I mean, now I get, now, I mean, I can tell my financial stuff, but now I get 22 an hour. I work at Goodyear now. I like my job, I work there, and I own a clothing line, which, you know, you see me wear my merch on, and you know, the videos and stuff like that. I own my clothing line, got healthy, you know, work out and stuff like that. Got my mind right. I cleansed my mind, man. Stopped smoking weed, you know what I mean? Stopped gang banging. You know, just leveled up in life, man. And I just only tell this story to, you know, let people know no matter what you going through, bro, don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up, because I felt like giving up. I went through so much hurdles to get where I'm at, like, and it felt like my own family, people that I never thought would do this to me, like, just wanted to see me down whatever way they could, you know what I'm saying? And I overcame, bro. Like, and that's why my clothing line is called the Black Sheep, because I feel like I stood out. I overcame all the adversity, so that made, like, when I stand out, that made me outstanding. You know what I'm saying? I'm the black sheep. I'm the doubter one. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the doubter one, but I'm really the chosen one. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like, I only tell this story, man, like, I was homeless, bro. Didn't know where my next move was. Didn't know where my income was gonna come from. You know, driving a 98 ugly car, but it got me A to B. Before I had the car, was walking, was mad skinny from walking. Like, I was like 120, you know what I mean? Got down to 120, 125. Because I was walking, I wasn't eating right. Like I said, when I stayed with old girl working at Wendy's, I couldn't eat her food. She wouldn't let me eat, so I was only eating Wendy's. Luckily, I worked at a fast food restaurant and had to pay to eat there. But I just got a discount. So, you know, I say all this to say, man, do not give up, bro. No matter what you're going through, the struggle does not always last, but it's a mental thing. You gotta train your mind to be stronger than your emotions, be stronger than your feelings, and just, you know, try no matter how hard, like, life is just beating you down. You gotta try to, you know, yo, I'm gonna be the best version. You gotta think in your head, I'm gonna be the best version of me, no matter what. I'm gonna be, and that was all on my mind after I got out of the situations I was in. Like, my mental every day is like, I'm just gonna become a better version of me. To be honest, I'm gonna flex on these, you know what? So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the only reason I'm sharing this story, but it really more to the story. I kind of shorten it up, but I ain't got like a whole hour to tell y'all, you know what I mean? But, man, if you was motivated by this story or anything like that, please like, comment, subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment, like, make sure you check out the podcast. You know what I mean? We dropping a video at least every week or every two. Make sure you go get my merch, www.blacksheepmerch.com. Man, I'm out. Peace and love.